Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I will present my group 4, to talk about one of the most interesting aspects of advertising, which is public relations. So, as you can see, today is our workshop 1, advertising, and this is our group subject. Okay, so we have 6 members in our group. Here, as you can see on the board, and as you can see on the table of contents, we'll have 7 main parts in our presentation. So first we'll go into the definition of public relations, or also can be known as PR, and then we'll go into the functions of PR and the tools that can be used that a brand can use to PR themselves, and then the process of any PR program, and the case study Help Me campaign of Coca-Cola, and then we'll have a look at the advantages and disadvantages of PR, and then we'll have a look at how to measure the effectiveness of a particular PR program. So, what is public relations? All of us here have studied principle of marketing, right? So according to the principle of marketing book, public relation is about building good relationships by obtaining favorable publicity. And it is also about building good corporate image. And it can also be handling negative rumors, stories, or events that is aiming to our brand. And it's also about promoting our products, people, activities, or nations, organizations, etc. Basically anything that can be promoted. So, long story short, public relation is about how a company or a brand keep their positive image in the public's eye. So as you can see on the board, there are 4 pictures as the example of how examples of PR programs. So here, this is the FWD Music Festival. It is a festival organized by the insurance company, FWD, to promote themselves, promote their brand. And here is the picture of the company promoting Dove shampoo. This is promoting the organization, and this is promoting the product. And these 2 pictures is about promoting a nation, which is Malaysia. Malaysia run a campaign, a PR campaign to promote themselves with the slogan of Malaysia Truly Asia. Next, we'll have a look at the functions of a PR department. So a PR department may perform any or all of the functions that I will mention. So first of all, they can be the press relations or press agency, which means they will have to create and place newsworthy information in the news media, and then they will have to do the role of product publicity, which means they have to publicize specific products. And thirdly, they will have to deal with public affairs, which means they have to build and maintain relationships with the local community. And next, they will have to do the role called lobbying. This is also about building and maintaining relationships, but with the legislator and government officials to influence the legislation and regulations. Then they will have to perform the role of investor relations, which means they have to maintain relationship with the financial community. And lastly, they have to work with the development, which means they have to work with donors or members of the non-profit organization to gain financial support or voluntary support. So, in the next part, we'll have a look at what are the tools that a company can use to promote themselves. So first of all, news. So what does news include? It includes regular TV or radio programs, any magazines or newspaper, or basically any type of mainstream media. This is considered one of the oldest and most effective tools for PR, since the public consider the news on these means of media more trustworthy than the paid advertisement. Next, companies can organize special events to promote themselves. So like the FWD Music Fest I've mentioned previously, that is an example for this. So special events include news conferences or speeches, press tours, etc. So this tool of PR will help directly reach the public attending the event, and then indirectly reach the public who will later hear or read about the event. So this is an example of a hot air balloon release event. This is not really common in Vietnam, but in many other countries, some brands, they will have some hot air balloons, as you can see here, with the name of their brand or the name of their event written on the hot air balloon, and then make them fly into the air, and then a mass public can look up and see and know about the event. So the next two tools I want to talk about are written materials and audiovisual materials. So written materials includes any annual reports of the company, any brochure, articles, company newsletters, and magazines of the company. So basically any form of written materials. And then audiovisuals includes DVDs or online video that is promoting the company or the brand. And the next tool that I want to talk about is the corporate identity material. So this is quite familiar with you guys, since it includes logos, stationeries, brochures, signs, or anything that has a sign of the company on it. So as an example, ISB have pens or hats or shirts that print the logo on it, so that when people wear it or use it, they can submissively promote for the name of ISB. So this is considered an attractive, distinctive, and memorable way of doing PR. So the last two tools I want to talk about are public service activities and websites or social media platforms. So public service activities includes any sponsorship where the company sponsor for an event or any form of activities, and then the company can also do charity works to promote themselves. And about the social media platform, it can be YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, etc. Any platform that the company can post advertisement of themselves on it. So let's talk about the process of PR. So first, before launching a PR program, the company will have to determine and evaluate the public attitude. So why do the company has to care about the public attitude? So it is obvious that no company wants to be boycotted by the consumers. So if the product that they launch has anything that is against the consumer's opinion or interest, they will maybe run a boycott. They will tell other customers to stop using your product, and then you will have like a major loss on your product. So that is why public attitudes is really important for any company if they want to run a PR campaign. And then after they have done determining and evaluating the public attitudes, they will have to establish a PR plan. And this plan has to integrate, which means it has to fit in with the overall marketing program of the company. And lastly, they will have to develop and execute the PR program. So this step includes two sub-steps. First of all, they will have to determine the relevant target audiences. So there are two groups of audience mentioned in here. The first one is the internal audiences, and the next one is the external audience. So internal audiences includes employees of the firm, stockholder, investor, community members, suppliers, and customer. Basically anyone that has to do with the company internally. And then external audiences includes the public in general. And last of all, after they have finished all the previous steps, they will come into implementing the PR programs using the tools that I previously mentioned. So next we will have a look at campaign in reality. This is one of the most well-known PR campaign of Coca-Cola. It's called Hug Me. So first, before going into the campaign, I want to state that the goal of Coca-Cola is more than just creating simple impressions for customers. It is more about creating strongly shareable pieces of information where it forms impression and then expressions from customers, which will later turn into real transactions and bring real profit to the company. So, what is the Hug Me campaign? In 2012, Coca-Cola, with this goal, Coca-Cola in 2012 launched a vending machine in the dormitory of NUS, the National University of Singapore. So when the students want to buy a Coke from this machine, they do not have to pay money like they regularly do. All they have to do is just hug the machine tightly, and then the Coke will automatically run out of this gap, and then they can just take the Coke and drink. So this campaign didn't cost Coca-Cola much. The only cost that Coca-Cola had to bear was the cost for free Cokes and the cost for producing the video about the campaign, which was only a tiny part of its revenue. So, however, the result that it created was much more than that. It created countless positive expressions for Coca-Cola, and which helped extended the brand's theme of happiness and optimism. So this is one of the most well-known examples of how powerful PR is if you know how to use it the right way. And next, let's have a look at the advantages and disadvantages of PR. So first, we'll have a look at the advantages. Here we list 6 advantages. As you can see, the first one is credibility, which means trustworthy. As I have mentioned before, the public consider what is posted on news or on newspapers or on the mainstream means of media more trustworthy than the paid advertisement. So if you use PR, you will more likely to gain trust from customer than to pay advertisement. And about cost, as I've mentioned in the campaign of Coca-Cola, PR doesn't cost much, especially when you compare it with the results that it creates. And avoidance of clutter. As you can see nowadays, there are many mainstream advertisements that is ran on social media, such as on YouTube. Whenever you watch a video, there will be short ads. So it will create a clutter, which means like a chaotic scenes, and then amongst the chaotic scenario, if you use the PR tool the right way, you will be able to avoid those clutter and make gain the attention to your product. And then, since you are able to gain the attention, you will more likely to gain a lead a sales lead in compared to other competitors. And since there are some groups of customers, some customer segments that are too minority or are too small, that is not worth spending lots of money to promote the product to them, PR will be the best way to reach some specific minority groups like that. And then image building. Using PR the right way will help you build a positive image of your brand in the public's eye. However, there are also some disadvantages when it comes to PR. First, there is a potential for not completing the communications process. So what is the communication process? It means that when a company do a PR program, launch a PR program, they want the customer to recognize their presence in there and acknowledge their brand. However, if a company, for example, if a company spend money to sponsor for a music festival, and the customer goes to the festival and only enjoy the music and then go home without noticing the brand who sponsored for the music festival, that is how the communication process is not completed. And then There will also be misfire through mismanagement and a lack of coordination between the PR department and the marketing department. So these two departments has to work together closely, tightly. So if they work independently, there may be some miscommunication that will lead to some mismanagement between those two, and then it will decrease the effectiveness of the PR program. In the last part, we'll have a look at how we measure the effectiveness of a particular PR program. So as you can see on the board, in general, people tend to use the number of impressions to measure the effectiveness of a PR program. The impression can be impression over time, or on the target audience, or on specific target audiences. And you can also base on the percentage of positive or negative articles about the PR program over time, or by subject, or by publication of reporter. And there are also some additional means. So the first one is personal observation and reaction. Next one is matching objectives and results. And the team approach can also be used as a means of measurement for effectiveness, and public opinion and survey can also be used. And the last means of measurement is audits. So for audits, we have two types of audits. The first one is internal audits, which are carried out by superiors or peers within the firm to evaluate the performance of the employees. And external audits refer to those conducted by consultants or by the clients of other parties outside the organization. So those were the 7 parts of our presentation. So this is the end of our presentation. So should you have any questions, so see you on Friday. Goodbye.